This video is low-key a reminder for myself, but for everybody else as well. You can't really care too much about the reactions of other people because it's not in your control. So why I'm thinking that is because I'm on a walk right now, as you see, and I say hi to everybody as you do, and certain people just look at you and they look away, or just they give you like these eyes of content and then they look away. And I've gotten that a couple times, but for the most part it used to affect me because I used to be like, damn, like the fuck is wrong with me, like, you know. But then you forget that everybody's going through something, and it may not necessarily justify what they do, but there's reason for it. So a person may look at you but they might just be having a bad day and don't want to interact with anybody, or they might just, I don't know, it might be an introvert, so they don't really want to connect with people as much. So I guess the gist of this is just, you can't really care too much about that because there's always reasons for it, and beyond that, it doesn't serve you any good to care that much about what people think. It really doesn't. Also, let me show you where I'm at now. See this side. So yeah, it's not good to care too much about what people think of you, because ultimately the only battle you have in this life is with yourself. It's the soul versus the body, or the mind versus the soul, that's the battle. The battle is unifying everything to make sure your heart follows your brain follows your heart, make sure your soul is aligned with what you think. Because sometimes you may think to yourself, I gotta go do this, or I gotta go do that, but then your soul is telling you something completely different. The idea is to unify those so you can be a whole integrated human being. So then that ties back into the not caring too much about other people's reactions, because you can only truly know yourself. And at the end of the day, whatever struggle, whatever problem the other person is going through, as much as you may want to help, and you can and should if you can, or you should if you can, sorry, but ultimately it's up with them and God. It's up with them, and on the day of judgment, or just on their day-to-day, talking to God, wondering, are they doing right? Why do I feel this way? Why do I act a certain way? That's up to them and God. I can sit here and try to be a psychologist and like, oh, this person had early childhood trauma, or this person got beat up, or you can do whatever. But ultimately, it's up between them and God. So then that also goes to you. It's only up to you and God. There's nothing else that matters. Like the opinions of other people, yeah, you can take them, you can let them in, but ultimately the only opinion that matters is God's. And you'll know if you're pleasing God or not because of your thoughts. It's a weird sound. It sounded like something was about to crash down. Maybe that was a synchronicity, that happened like a drum, like a universal drum, as soon as I was talking about God. Now it's just time to hear the trumpets. Once I hear the trumpets, that's how I know I'm speaking facts. But essentially, nothing matters besides your relationship with God, and if you are working towards divinity or not. And I'm not talking about becoming a God, but I'm talking about, are you being held down by guilt and shame? Are you being held down by insecurity? Do you envy others? Do you have excessive pride in yourself? Are you gluttonous? All these things matter because they are impediments to reaching God. Everything. Like right now, there's a whole bunch of people that are fasting right now because a lot of people who are very spiritually in tune have been called to a sort of fasting. That helps. But ultimately, you have to keep reason in your mind for why you're doing it. It's not just, oh, I'm fasting from food so I can become powerful, so I can, I can control everything. You're fasting from food because you need to know the importance of food, so you don't just treat it as some commodity. You need to heal your body, so you don't treat your body as just like, I don't know, a strip race track, You want to treat it as the temple it is, the temple of God. That's where he resides. So yeah, ultimately, to tie back into the original point, it's not a matter of if this person said hi, or if this person gave me the reaction I wanted, or if she did this, she did that. It's not about any of that. It's about how do you look under God. When God's final judgment looks down on you and shines the light on everything in your life, what happens? What happens then? Because you're gonna have to explain everything. I've been going through this a lot too, because I'm no saint. I've done a whole bunch of stuff. But the thing that's gotten to me recently is I'm gonna have to answer for everything. God is going to make me answer for every single thing I've done. And I will have an answer. At least I hope I do, I hope I do. But that's up for me and God. Just the same way that it's up to you guys and God. It's not about the opinion of others. It's about God. Like, if you ever have a problem in your life or a question, literally ask God. You don't have to go get advice from other people. You can, and with some things you should. But a lot of times you can just ask God the question and just sit there and pray. Or sit there and just in silence and meditation and just allow the answer to bubble up. Because a lot of the times, and I've been guilty of this with God as well. Actually clicked the volume button so my camera cut off, but what I was saying was, a lot of the times we come to God in states of desperation. We come to him like, oh, my life is shit, God, what do I do? Or, oh, I'm going through this, God, like, please help me. We come to him in desperation. We don't come to him in admiration, in love, and just like, I've been practicing recently where I will just sit there and be super gracious about everything, but mostly I'll be super grateful about what God has given me and what he has allowed me. Like, he's allowing me to live. He's allowing me to walk this beautiful path and just talk on my phone schizophrenically. Like, that's a gift from God. Like these trees. They're beautiful. They're calming. They're grounding. You know what that is? These are the tendrils of God. God's tendrils reach towards the heavens. Because ultimately, God is up there, but he's also here. So this is just the personification of God's secret. Or not personification, but pertreification. But yeah, ultimately, you want to have a good relationship with God, respect God. Don't come to him only when in desperation. Actually come to him in love and gratitude. And ultimately, you know what it is. You know in your heart of hearts what you want. Other people's opinions don't matter. So ultimately, it's just on you. I'm a little bit tired because it's like a 4-mile trek, so it's a nice walk. But yeah, just be in favor with God. Don't care about the other people. Don't care about anything else besides God. And you'll have a bountiful life. You'll be able to appreciate everything. So yeah, I love y'all, and I'm signing out.